Will India rebuild Gaza once the war is over? Israel claims India is one of the few nations capable of delivering such high-scale projects. Israeli ambassador claims, quote, "India is the new builder of the world. As you are building India, we want you to build our region as well. You are capable of doing it," unquote. Not just that, this weekend Israeli police band played the Indian national anthem in front of the Indian tricolor to celebrate the brave Indian soldiers who had liberated Haifa from Ottoman Empire rule in 1918. But more on that later. First, Israel's invitation for India to rebuild Gaza comes as Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken India-Israel relations to the next level. This week, Prime Minister Modi welcomed the 20-point peace proposal unveiled by US President Donald Trump for Gaza. Modi stated on X, "We welcome President Donald Trump's announcement of a comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict. It provides a viable pathway to long-term and sustainable peace, security and development for the Palestinian and Israeli people. We hope that all concerned will come together behind President Trump's initiative and support this effort to end the conflict and secure peace." The Israeli envoy, including its ambassador Azar, also welcomed Prime Minister Modi's reaction to the 20-point peace plan, which mainly proposes an immediate end to the war in Gaza and release of all Israeli hostages held by Hamas, and then a phased withdrawal of Israeli forces. This was decided after high-level talks between Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Israeli ambassador Azar added, "Gaza will need a lot of reconstruction and there will be a lot of opportunities with dozens of billions of dollars. India has the capability to deliver projects. I hope they will try to get some of the projects. We welcome the statement of Prime Minister Modi. India has a positive role for the region and we welcome it," unquote. Not just India, even Pakistan is said to have a footprint in the region post-war. Reports suggest Donald Trump may order Islamabad to even recognize Israel diplomatically. Meanwhile, Pakistani Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar announced that the country's top leadership may send troops to Gaza as a peacekeeping force under the comprehensive peace deal announced by Trump. Dar said the discussions regarding this were held with Trump and 8 Muslim nations on the sidelines of the UNGA in New York recently. According to Israeli Ambassador Reuven Azar, India has been playing a positive role to advocate for peace in the Middle East. And thus Trump's peace plan will also allow India as well as other countries to carry out reconstruction activities in the region. India-Israel bilateral relations are strengthening just as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to visit India by the end of this year, and this will be his first official trip to the country since he visited India last in 2018. While exact dates are yet to be finalized, the visit is reportedly aimed at strengthening geopolitical, defense, and economic ties between the two nations. As per reports, Netanyahu plans to meet with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to discuss boosting cooperation across multiple sectors, and this includes defense right at the top and technology as well as trade. India and Israel have indeed showcased their strong ties this week when Embassy of India in Israel commemorated the 107th anniversary of the Battle of Haifa, honoring the courage and valor of Indian soldiers who liberated Haifa in 1918 by beating the Ottomans. Indian troops suffered only 8 losses while capturing 1,350 prisoners, which included Ottoman officers, as they surrendered to the British-led Indian Army. The ceremony was attended by Ambassador J.P. Singh, Haifa Mayor Yona Yahev, and other dignitaries in Israel. Only 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had a delegation here that approached Indian companies to come and play a role in building infrastructure in Israel. They could easily build infrastructure for the Palestinians as well, the Israeli ambassador said at that press briefing. Let's talk a bit about India-Israel relations amidst multiple geopolitical tensions, one of them being Gaza and the Middle East regional crisis, and the other being Armenia and Azerbaijan equation. India and Israel have emerged the most trustworthy partners of each other over the past few years. India has also proven that values good relations with Israel with regards to advocating for peace in the Middle East. And Israel has expressed similar support and understanding for India's national security by extending full support to New Delhi during Operation Sindoor, anti-terror operation inside Pakistan. Additionally, India and Israel also have long-standing defense relations, as Israel is one of the largest arms suppliers to India. According to a report by Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, or SIPRI, Israel was the third largest arms supplier to India between 2020 and 2024. Israel supplied about 13% of India's weapons imports during this period. But there are certain areas where India and Israel do not exactly see eye to eye, especially in the South Caucasus region, which involves two rival countries, Armenia and Azerbaijan. A report by Eurasian Times reveals that for the last 4 years, India has been the largest arms supplier to Armenia, whereas Israel has been supplying military equipment to Azerbaijan. Now, India will obviously support Armenia, as Azerbaijan has aligned itself with Turkey and the terror state of Pakistan. But Israel's support of Azerbaijan is a bit odd, as this nation is also supported by Turkey, which is Israel's rival and a Hamas backer. By supporting Baku, in a way, Israel is supporting and strengthening its own regional adversary, Turkey. Firstly, Israel is the biggest arms supplier to Azerbaijan. Between 2011 and 2020, Israel provided 27% of Azerbaijan's total arms imports. Between 2016 and 2020, this grew to 69%. Between 2020 and 2024, Israel supplied 65% of Azerbaijan's arms. Israeli weapons were also critical in Azerbaijan's victory over Armenia in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war. Major supplies include drones like Harop, Hermes 900, missiles like Lora, and the Barak 8 air defense system, and tank upgrades as well. Israel reportedly also supplied nearly 100 Lora missiles. Secondly, Azerbaijan's proximity to Iran, which is Israel's main enemy in the Middle East, gives Baku a very strategic advantage indeed. Iran has accused Israel of using Azerbaijani airspace for attacks during the June 12-day war. Some reports, though unconfirmed, even suggest that Israel has a secret airbase in Azerbaijan. Moreover, the Eurasian Times report suggests that Baku has given a free pass to Mossad agents in the country to keep an eye on Iran in turn for Israeli weapons. Thus, their defense relations go a long way. Israeli newspaper Haaretz recently quoted foreign media sources disclosing this, that Azerbaijan has allowed the Mossad to set up a forward branch inside Azerbaijan to monitor what is happening in Iran. Azerbaijan's neighbor to the south, and has even prepared an airfield intended to aid Israel in case it decides to attack Iranian nuclear sites, unquote. But did you also know that Israel depends on this country for its energy resources? According to reports, at least 40% of Israel's oil needs are fulfilled by Azerbaijan. But since Donald Trump brokered a ceasefire between Armenia and Azerbaijan, the likelihood of India and Israel being caught on opposing sides has reduced. But so far, both the countries have been able to avoid any confrontation and also carry the bilateral ties forward, especially as Prime Minister Netanyahu is set to visit India very soon. Israel was also one of the most vocal critics of the Pahalgam terror attack carried out by a Pakistan-backed and sponsored terror group in Kashmir, which targeted and massacred 26 Hindu tourists in Pahalgam, Kashmir, in front of their families, and then took credit for it. Israel also backed Operation Sindoor, Indian military operation to strike and neutralize terror camps in 9 Pakistani cities. Israel also stood beside India like a brother in arms after the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks, again by a Pakistan-based terror group. In fact, India-Israel partnership goes back to 1999 Kargil War, when America refused India access to GPS networks, so it was getting difficult for Indian army to target bunkers of Pakistani intruders on top of mountains. Even back then, Israel provided India laser-guided bombs to the Indian Air Force, which were used to bust the terror hideouts and force the Pakistani troops to retreat and run back home. But what do you believe? Has Israel proven itself to be a reliable ally of India? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.